This is an upright post. It's going to have a tenon on the end of it. And you can see I've already got it marked out. It's going to be a 3.5 by 8 inch tenon. Now I'm getting the heart of the log in the tenon because that's where the most strength is, and that's the heart of the log. So if I'm working with a nominal 12 inches, this right here is obviously bigger than 12 inches. This is coming out at about 13 inches. And this way here is about 13 inches. So this is a little bigger than I need. So I have a mark here and a mark here for the 12 inches, 6 inches from center, 6 inches from center. Now if this post had a tenon on the other end or it had mortises coming into it, I'd be chalking a line down all 4 of these marks from one end to the other. I would level and then I'd square off, and while it's at that level point I'd go down to the other end, find the top and level down, and it would make it exactly a straight beam on the inside that I would be calculating from. I only have to do a tenon on one end, so I don't have much work to do. Actually, it's going to be fairly simple to be able to do. All I have to do is chalk one line right down the center, or I can chalk this line and this line, which will be fairly easy. But normally what I do is I chalk the line down the center, then I'm going to measure over, as I've got a 3.5 inch width here. I'm going to measure half of that, which is 1 3/4 inch, 1 3/4. I need to chalk a line from this point to that point and then square off of it to get my next mark. Now I don't use red chalk because I already have these sanded off. I don't want to do a lot of correction after this. The blue chalk will literally rinse right off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the center back here, which is right about there, and then I'm going to chalk a line. So basically I have a line here I can square off of now. So this next line I'm going to mark at 4 inches, which would be back at the back of the chamfer. This is my square control line here, and then I'm going to get a solid line there to work off of, because we want our tenon to be 4 inches and we want our chamfer to match out at 2.5 inches. So you know we started out at 2.5 for our control line, which obviously gives us everything that we need when we transfer everything over. Confident that my line is going to be right where it needs to be. 4 3/8, yes. So, and I'm going to cut some of this off right here once I cut the tenon out, because this right here is just a starting point, and then this is what we call rough cut. So now, where I'm at here, I have a line all the way back to here, all the way back to here. I'm going to line my chainsaw blade up with this line, and with this line here, the vertical line and the horizontal line. As I do, I'm going to keep my chainsaw straight all the way down. I don't want to cut beyond this mark, so I'm probably going to cut just a little short of that all the way down. If I cut beyond that, it doesn't need to be on the edge. It needs to be further in here where it can't be seen, but it won't hurt it back in there. But I need to keep it away from that line a little bit all the way down. Okay? Okay, the rest of that will be chisel work, straightening this out. And again, this will all be smoothed up. Be cutting an angle here, be cutting an angle here, all the way around. I'll show that to you here in a moment how that looks. Now, you see me cut a tenon a while ago, and the way that that works is it goes into a mortise. This is a mortise. You can see that I have a lot of measurements that are written down here because every one of them are going to be different based on the width or thickness of each tree. Obviously this is a mortise. It goes in here about 4 inches. It's about 2 inches where it starts from here to here. So in essence, from here back to the back, we have about 6 inches of grab. And as you can see right here, from where this one goes into this tree, it also has a 2-inch offset with a shoulder. And then it has the tenon that goes in approximately 4 inches. And then we have lag bolts that are going in. Now we could drill a hole and run a wooden peg in, and a lot of people do that. And that's fine. I don't feel comfortable with that, with this particular construction, unless we were to make this tenon go all the way through. Now, I didn't want to take the tenons all the way through. I wanted to have a solid backside and solid sides, and only compromise center cut for the mortise. So we have lag bolts. They go from here in an angle. They go in an angle this way, and then they go in an angle this way, or an angle this way. And we have the same thing behind me here, but right here is a very solid construction method that we're using throughout the entire barn as we build the barn. Now these are risen up off of the ground and they're sitting on concrete pillars that we have poured. And we have a metal flashing on top of the pillars. We have a rebar up through the center of the concrete that we drill a hole through the bottom of the upright beams, and we set it down onto that rebar. Now between the metal flashing and this post, we have a pressure treated block that we put in there to lift this up off of any potential moisture that could be somehow caught on that metal flashing. We don't want this sitting directly on the metal flashing. It's sitting on a block that is not as big around than this. It's actually a square piece that's about a 7.5 inch by 7.5 inch piece that goes up under these. These are approximately 12 inches in diameter, and on the small end, some of them may get a little bit smaller when they get to the top. On the bottom end, they're going to be quite a bit bigger than a 12-inch diameter. And we feel that this is going to be a good construction for our barn here at the Welch Family Homestead, and we're going to carry you through every process of it as we build this barn. And in this barn, we're going to use it as a woodworking shop, a place to work on our tractors for our farm, and to hold some of our equipment that we need to keep in the dry. And as you know, we build furniture here, rustic furniture, log furniture, and also some very custom furniture that's not log. It's very intricate furniture, and which you can inquire about that here at the Welch Family Homestead. We can do custom pieces, everything from chairs to tables to beds to you name it. And just wanted you to see this construction. Many people have been asking, how do we do this? And that's why we want to take you from step to step all the way through the process of showing you how that we actually are building the barn. So keep following us, subscribe to our channel. I'm Jeff Welch here at Welch Family Homestead. I've been in the log home business for many years. I built some very high-end log homes for clients. I was in the log home business and timber frame business for many years, and I was one of the top franchisors in the log home business for many years, building some very beautiful homes for everyone from professional football players to attorneys to doctors to even other builders would have me build their homes, and I appreciate the trust that they had given me to build their homes on the lakes and the mountains and valleys and the forest and privacy areas that we had the blessing of being able to build in some of the most beautiful places in the world. And I don't do that anymore, but yet at the same time I'm still kind of doing it with what I do around the farm here, and also specialty situations that may arise. And and I give advice when needed to other log home builders that are still in the business. I get phone calls on a consistent basis because I not only did the construction, but I also did a lot of things commercially and industrially as well. Everything from amusement parks to restaurants to even gaming facilities, where we added large logs to make it aesthetic, to make it such a beautiful place to be able to enjoy entertainment. We've done a lot of that for everybody from the Disney World to you name it. So we really appreciate the business that we've had over the years. But right now my focus is here on the Welch family homestead and what we're able to accomplish here for the next generation of my family. And that's why I bought this property. You can kind of see the mountaintop in the background up here, I think, from where I have the camera set. I'm not sure. The posts and the trees may block it out. But the Welch family homestead goes all the way up to the top of the mountain. And of course, we have a beautiful valley down below and a lake. And if you'll look through our channel, you can see a lot of different videos where we show some of the things that we have going on here. And we'll be more than happy to have you as a subscriber to our channel. And we appreciate your loyalty. If you've already subscribed and you keep coming back, much appreciation for that. We do keep God first here. That's what it's all about. It's about compassion for others, helping others, teaching other people what I can to make their life a little easier, better, or to help them to enjoy processes that a lot of people just don't know how to do, or they'll spend time hoping that they know what they're doing, and before you know it, they're in trouble in some of their construction processes or their farm processes. We want to do things here from our channel to teach you how to do things that will actually help you to learn how to do things that you might have not been willing to tackle before you've watched some of these videos. And here, as we build the barn on a Mortise and Tenon level on a round timber with round timber components, that's not something you see all the time. Most of the time it's a square, rectangular type dimensional material that's being joined together. Here I decided, since I had some trees that we needed to be taking down in our forest because of the infestation of some of these beetles, these pine beetles, we felt like it was necessary to take them down to keep it from spreading to other pines on the property and to other neighboring properties. And therefore we're going to take them down and utilize what we can, and the rest of the material that we can't use, maybe because it's gone too far, it's just not viable material, we're going to burn it and try to manage these beetles to the best process possible to eradicate them so that they're not continuing to spread. We don't use pesticides here on the property at Welch Family Homestead because I keep everything organic. It's not something that is within our scope of our commitment to the land to have a company come in and spray the trees, which could potentially get into the ground, water, and actually travel into our water source or any water sources downstream, or to be harbored within our soils later on that our food is going to be growing from, or the food for our animals is growing from. So we take care of the property in an organic fashion. We keep the chemicals out of our ground, and we hope you understand, and we're not judging you if you do not do that as a practice, but yet at the same time we hope that our mission here to care for the planet in our own way, in God's way, is also a way that could pass on to you, and that you would gain interest in doing the same. God bless you, and we appreciate you joining us here as we talk about more on how to join timbers together as we build our barn here at the Welch Family Homestead. God bless you. This is Jeff Welch signing off.